Hi and welcome back to the second episode of the Founder Sandwich. I'm Fabian Annich, the host today, and we are at TechQuartier, and with us is Phong Dao from iVE.ONE. I must say I'm a little surprised because I expected you that your hair is actually colored, but it's your natural hair color.
That's a really good question, and a lot of people are asking me that. Yeah, but it's like natural.
So you're actually old.
I am actually old, but I'm young looking. Yeah.
I leave it to you to explain maybe in 2 or 3 sentences what you do, because I think you can actually do it better than me.
Yeah, no problem. So overall, iVE.ONE is quite simple. Yeah, so we're a digital asset infrastructure for financial institutions and corporates so that they can offer their clients, for example, access to cryptocurrencies and tokenized assets.
Looking at your really great experience, 22 job experiences, it's not your first startup, right? That you're founding.
Exactly. It's not my first startup. I tried to keep all the failures I did, let's say, like this year, to against my 2 other co-founders, so that they're not running into the same mistakes. We're like an old founder team. Yeah, I think each of us has at least like 10 years plus experience.
Yeah, that's amazing. So we have a mature founding team, and I have a very immature job now for you, because, you know, blockchain technology, you know, I'm not sure like how to explain it always in a proper way. So we said, okay, we have the expert on the couch, right? So why not make you explain it with some Lego bricks?
So what I would love to do is like, I would call my CTO and let him explain like how blockchain works for a 5-year-old with Lego.
Yeah, I hope he's wearing pants.
Me too. Hi, Robert.
Hi, hello.
How are you? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
I got this really fancy question, yeah, and the question here is like, please explain me blockchain technology, yeah, to a 5-year-old with Lego. Yeah?
Oh no. I can hold them.
Yeah, wait.
Let us build one block with more Legos.
Okay. I'm building now a block with more Legos. Let me do this. Yeah.
And then let us create the next block with another color, maybe red, but
Okay.
have blue Lego to connect. A yellow block with a red bridge, right? Okay, I think this will be the first. What's more?
So overall, what you have is like different kind of blocks. Yeah, so that's why it's called blockchain, right? These are hashes in general. Yeah, so it means like if you do a transaction here, you always need to go like back. Yeah, so it means like it's not really changeable. Yeah, just imagine, for example, if you in your group, yeah, and you write a WhatsApp message and say like, hey guys, let's meet up at 4 p.m. for example. Yeah, and you write, yeah, the other 2 knows about it, but you cannot change it directly. Yeah, you cannot edit it, right? Yeah. So it means like, okay, what do you do now? So the principle is either like, okay, you have to start new and say like, guys, let's meet at 8 p.m. Yeah, or you just go there at 4, or you don't go there at 4 p.m. For example, you go at 8 p.m. and you're alone there, right? Yeah.
And you're very lucky, you know, that 5-year-old people are using WhatsApp by now. So thank you so much, you know, for also dialing in Robert. It really seems like a cool founding team. Who's your 3 founders?
Exactly. So the third founder is like Evgeny. Yeah, he's like our CPO, so Chief Product Officer, and he takes care of all like product designs. Yeah, because at the beginning we were developing quite techy products. Yeah. No one understood it besides us. Yeah.
I'm honest, you know, I read the description, a white label digital asset infrastructure for financial institutions and corporates that enables their clients to access cryptocurrencies and tokenized assets. Yeah, so it's
quite easy.
It's quite easy, yeah, I know. I mean, it's the Founder Sandwich Show, so we're moving over to actually making a sandwich. I have some more questions for you prepared. Afterwards, we have Sarah coming in with some questions from the ecosystem, and then we take a bite of the sandwich, you know, and just, see if it tastes or not.
Cool.
Last time I asked Mariah to do it because I was gravely injured with my thumb. So this time I have no excuse, so I will do the sandwich. We have prepared something. You take everything on the sandwich?
I eat everything. I'm Asian. No, that's why.
You have gathered a lot of experiences, yeah? What would you say was like the most valuable experience in your professional career, or maybe even private experience, that helped you with this company right now?
So in general, I think that working like in corporates, it's okay, yeah, but you get the experience, but it's not like the experience you need, for example, to incorporate found a company or something like this. Yeah, because I think the most value I got was like when I was founding my first startup. Yeah, because during that time I really had to do everything. At the end, it's of course like everything about like experience, but you also need to really have passion for something. Yeah, because at least like I can speak for myself. Yeah, but how often did you wake up and say, for example, okay, why do I have to go to work?
But you started in a corporate, or you started as a freelancer? Because
I started in a corporate. Was it
Telecom or what?
No, it was like a consultancy company in Munich.
Yeah.
And it was also like a really good time, because in the consultancy company you learn like the learning curve is quite fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like over 2.5 years, and it was really, really good.
So would you say that you're like your chances for success are higher now, since you're working in a very institutionalized corporate environment with your product, that you have higher chance of success selling that product because you have corporate experience?
I think like for financial institutions, it's like important, for example, that the founder team or the product itself by development is a little bit more mature. Yeah, because for example, if I would be like a financial institution, asked like, hey, how many experience did you have like working in a bank, or do you know like banking processes? Yeah, it's tricky when you are fresh out of university, right?
True.
Yeah, and also like in the banking environment, the people are a little bit older. Let's say, okay, me too. Yeah, but older. Yeah.
Even older.
Even older.
You founded iVE.ONE 2017, I think.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there are ups and downs. When's the last time you wanted to give up? You know, was there a situation or?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's always like up and downs, like with startups. Yeah, of course, like we have more ups right now. Yeah, but I think the last time was really, I guess, in 2000. I think end of 2019. Yeah, because as a startup, you bootstrap and then you get a funding, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the worst scenario is always like the money is getting less and you're running against the wall. Yeah, and you need to create like revenue or business or something like this. Yeah, and then as a CEO, you're not just yourself. Yeah, you have to take care of the whole company for the people.
All right, thank you, Phong. I think we've got some insights like what your founding personality is. The sandwiches are getting ready. I would use that time now. I'm handing you over to Sarah and to the ecosystem.
Cool.
We have some more questions prepared for you, and then we go back on the couch and try a sandwich.
All right, let's do this.
Hi, I'm Sarah, TechQuartier's Ecosystem Manager. And as we have received quite a few questions for Phong, I'm happy to be on the couch with you today and ask you what people want to know about you and iVE.ONE. You ready?
Yeah, first of all, hi Sarah, nice meeting you.
Hi, nice meeting you. So the first question is from my colleague Josh, who's behind the camera. Phong, do you still use paper money yourself, or do you only use your crypto wallet?
I use, of course, like still paper money because we live in Germany. Yeah, but crypto, I invest in that. Yeah, so it means like I also use a lot my crypto wallet. Yes.
Okay, and he also wanted to know like, how do you see crypto currency changing banks and also people's wallets within the next 10 years?
I think that not crypto, but in general blockchain, will change the financial industry quite heavy. Yeah, and I think that a lot of processes will not be there as they are right now. Yeah, so it will be a really huge impact with this technology on financial institutions.
If you could swap seats, so to say, with a startup founder from the region for 2 days, so you're working in his seat, who or her seat, who would that be?
I think I would change like with the CEO of Clark.
Okay, and why is that?
Because I think it's quite interesting to see like, or to manage, for example, a really huge growing company. Yeah, because I think they are the only one here in Frankfurt who are a unicorn, right? And just to be like in his shoes to see like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, because probably we will come also to the stage.
Yeah, so
but be prepared. Exactly.
Your future self. Okay. Next question is, since NFTs are on a hype at the moment, What do you think about them, and where in the financial industry do you see the biggest use case for NFTs?
So in general, yes, NFT is like a super hype, yeah, but it could be also like a bubble, to be honest. Yeah, because there's so much, let's say, useless NFTs out there. Yeah, and you put them like on the market, people are buying them, but there are also like really interesting and cool use cases, for example, for this whole NFT stuff. Yeah, and it's not only for financial institutions. Yeah, but if you think about like big sport clubs, for example, and like digital merchandise, like digital players, digital cards. Yeah, so it's like really, it could be like becoming a really, really interesting topic in the future for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, of course, sustainability is a major and important topic. So as you're using blockchain, how do you see the immense use of energy it needs to run the blockchain? Or are you using like a green or eco-friendly blockchain?
Yes, sustainability, like always a hot topic. Yeah, also like in comparison now with Bitcoin, for example. But overall, there are different kind of, okay, this sounds a little bit nerdy, but different kind of blockchain protocols. Yeah, and there are also like renewable energy companies who are thinking about like going to blockchain, but they're using, for example, a different one, which is more like proof of stake. Yeah, it's not like using all this mining and energy, for example, but more like a specific kind of mechanism to approve things. And this is, for example, less energy, with less energy consumption.
Okay. And last question is from my dear colleague, Hugo. He wanted to know, I think there's also some kind of jealousy in that question, but how do you keep such impeccable hair at all times?
As I said before, like my hair, it's like natural, and people always ask me like, okay, how much time do you spend, for example, in the morning to prepare your hair? It's I just wake up, put some wax, and just move it into my hair, and that's it. Yeah, but I think like it's the volume. Yeah, that's just like really a lot of this hair here. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Hugo, I hope you listen closely. So next time, tomorrow, I want to see you over Teams with that kind of hairstyle. Thanks, Phong. I think, yeah, these were the questions for now. And after answering all of these, I think it's, more than fair to give you the stage for 30 seconds now.
So, as we mentioned before, we're like a digital asset infrastructure provider. And for me, it's important that everyone in this ecosystem should get more knowledge about this whole new topic. And therefore, we are always open for everyone to just swing by to our office here at TQ or at our headquarters here in Frankfurt. And just get to know us, get to know the products, get to know like what's going on with this new digital asset class. And therefore, we definitely want to support this ecosystem. And just swing by and talk with me like over coffee about it.
Nice. So I would definitely swing by to understand more about all of these.
But not only for the coffee, right?
No, for the knowledge, for your nice colleagues who I've met now, because they are here too. Yeah, thanks. I think that's it. And now we'll invite Fabian back to the game, and I hope he brings some yummy sandwiches with him.
Yeah, excited.
All right.
The sandwiches are coming.
As promised.
You
get your sandwich.
Thank you.
1, 2.
Can you share?
Please. I'm having one too. Maybe you can just hand me one over. Sure. Okay, so I mean, before we taste the sandwich, thank you for your insights into your startup, into your founding personality. Thank you, Robert, for helping Phong building this beautiful piece of Lego explanation. And I'm very happy to announce our next guest on the show as well. For the episode number 3, we have Maria Möller from Talking Hands on the show. And I'm hoping that a lot of you will be asking questions again. Take the chance, use the opportunity, subscribe to our channel, write some comments under the video, give us some feedback, and also send us questions that you would like to ask Maria, the recently funded inclusion startup that's coming up next on the show. So take care, and I would say we have a bite.
Sure.
I was actually hungry the whole time. I think it's better than Maria's last time. That's probably why I did it.
Why green pesto?
Because red pesto is not real pesto. Oh.